All right, Joe, at number 2, the both of us have the University of Miami at number 2. When you look at the Miami Hurricanes going into the 2025 season, how do you see them? Now, our good friends over at FanDuel has Miami as a plus 380 odds to win the ACC. But what does Joe DeLeon think and see in them in 2025?
Also on FanDuel, 9.5 win total. I'm taking the over on that. Look, you and I wonder if this is going to spark us getting mad at one another.
Uh-oh.
You and I have always disagreed on Miami and defensive expectations. Even last year when they were struggling, I was blindly slamming my head against the wall saying that they would be fine. And my reason for saying that they would be fine is because Cam Ward would still outscore their defense's mistakes. That can't happen this year. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it will happen this year for 2 main reasons. They are returning veteran, quality, impactful offensive linemen. They have the best offensive line in the ACC. They have one of the best offensive lines in the country. They have a 3-deep running back room, and I think that a lot of their offense is going to be built off of running the rock and being more physical.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last part with this, Blake, the aggressiveness to not only go and grab a number of defensive backs in the portal, and we're not talking about just getting one new starting outside corner. They were aggressive at every single DB spot. They tried to find new players. But I keep harping on that Corey Heatherman is going to be transformative for this team's success this upcoming season. We're not talking about a defensive coordinator that was hired away from a big program that they were doing decently well. He turned Minnesota into one of the best defenses in the country last year. They had some good players, Quinn Parrish, Anthony Smith, some good players. They don't have the level of talent that this Miami team has. I know that it takes time, like we just talked about with Tom Allen, to buy into an identity. But I feel like that there is going to be a step forward enough with this schedule for them to win 11 ball games and to finally reach the college football playoff.
Oof. Joe, they got to 10 wins in the regular season. They didn't make it there.
Well, their schedule wasn't strong enough for them to do it.
Is it this year?
If they go 11-1, they will get in.
Well, if they go 11-1, they're going to have to win the conference or come damn near really close.
What? You don't think that an 11-1?
No, I'm saying if they go 11-1, either they're just going to flat out win the whole thing, and of course they're in, or they're. I mean, you're not going to leave them out because they're 11-1. I mean, it mean that they're losing to Clemson.
Yeah, if they go to the, I'm saying here essentially that they'd go to the ACC championship game, they'd lose to Clemson, and then they would go to the college football. If they very well put SMU in after the shit season, the mediocre season they had last year, Miami would deserve to get in with.
Oh, you have them beating Notre Dame.
Oh, I'm forgetting that.
Oh, gotcha.
I forgot that they played Clemson during the regular season, so they would be 10-2.
Oh boy!
Shit.
I got your moment.
My math is off.
Oh boy, no, you.
I did a record prediction and everything, and I messed up.
No. You said Miami's beating Notre Dame. I'm clipping it.
I didn't say that.
Clipping it and sending
it. Wait. Hold on. They don't play Clemson this year.
No, but if they go 11-1 and you got them beating Notre Dame, they're going to have to beat Clemson they're going to have to beat Clemson.
Yeah. So they can go 11. But I was right though that during the regular season they can go 11-1 during the regular season and then finish 11-2. So 11-1 during the regular season is 100% on the table.
If they lose to Notre Dame, I think they'll slip up somewhere else, but that's just me. Here's my question with them, and let me kick it back over to you. You know my concerns with it. I do think they fixed things in their DB room. I think they blamed everything on Lance Guidry, which was a little bit unfair. However, let me throw this your way. Do you think that Mario Cristobal can get over the hump and get into the ACC title game? I mean, I know that you're projecting, but again, are we going to have a serious conversation about whether it be him at Oregon or him at Miami? Joe, this would be really the first time that he's getting over that hump. So I'm with you on the talent. I'm with you on the DBs. I'm with you on the offensive line. I'm with you on the running backs. I don't necessarily know what they're going to do at receiver. Let's see if some guys can step up here. Is Carson Beck's elbow going to hold up? Can he reduce those turnovers to what he was the first year as a starter there at Georgia? My question really becomes in all of that is can Mario take a team and take them to that next level, next step? And I'm not even talking about winning the ACC. Now, I got them there. So I got them going 2 there. I got them losing 2. But I also get to a point where I think he can do it in the regular season. But when the lights are brightest, can you go up against Clemson and beat them? And Dabo, who's got multiple national titles, multiple playoff runs, can they do that will be the ultimate question.
So, first of all, we always kind of miss this when we talk about Mario. He has won. He did win the Pac-12 when he was at Oregon.
Yep.
Won in 2019, 2020, 2020. We can a little bit of a Mickey Mouse championship.
Yeah, they play, 5 games?
Yeah, it's like winning the Dome NBA Finals. If I don't want to hear anyone justify that. LeBron,
and in 2019, they lost to a 6-win Auburn team.
Yeah. Okay. Right. The narrative of him getting over the hump and actually finishing is a fair one to bring up. He's accomplished it at Oregon, but I brought this up, I think, on Monday's show with James Franklin. A lot of these coaches that win national titles and go on to win their conferences and go on to strings of success, they had to face failure first. They had to face failure like Ryan Day did, like Kirby Smart did, before they got there. It's okay for us, Blake, to sit here and say, can they accomplish it? I think that there's nothing wrong with it because they haven't proven it yet. Mario hasn't proven that he can win the ACC, nor has Miami proven that they can win the ACC. They haven't won it since they've joined it. But I am willing to feel more secure this year after we have seen a year-by-year improvement in progression and identification of issues and how to fix those issues and aggressiveness to fix those issues, that it makes me feel good that they will be 1 win better with a favorable schedule and get to the ACC championship game.
You had 2 top 10 quarterbacks in the years that they got drafted, the number 1 overall pick this year, okay, and Cam Ward, and you couldn't overcome that hump. Defense did do that. Can you eliminate the explosive plays? I think that they got, for me, they got to get back to lining up with this offensive line and running that rock. I thought a year ago, and you opened this segment talking about how we had our disagreements about their defense and you banging your head up against the wall. It is what it is. It's last year. No one really cares. But, Joe, they didn't bleed the clock at all when they had leads, and it bit them in the ass. I don't know if they got to have a little bit of a philosophy change when it comes to the mentality of how they see things. If your offensive line is as good as you think that it is, that you recruited I don't say by yourself, but for yourself because you played that position. If you're going to be at the end of this in the ACC championship game again in a conference that is weaker and at some points in your schedule in that front 7, Joe, they got to line up and run that rock. I don't want to hear any like, oh, well, they got to do this. No, you got to line up and run that hoe. And you got to run it at an effective rate. I do think that they're going to fix their DB room for what it's worth. And if they can be more competitive, ironically, than what they were a year ago with all the offensive weapons that they did have. Joe, I do turn to this in reference to Carson Beck. The elbow really is not more of a concern for me right now after seeing him throw a little bit. The concern for me right now is can he eliminate those turnovers? He's in a lesser conference, so maybe those turnovers can come down. Very well could. I do think a lot of things ride on Carson Beck going into this too, but for the whole Miami culture, can you get over that hump is going to be the big question. I think that they can. I think that they're not going to be able to get over Clemson. I do think from a talent perspective, they're the second best and most talented team in the conference, and that's why I have them there.
Yeah, I think that last point is exactly where I sit, where I think that this year ends up being an improvement, but there is a barrier that they still have to get through. And if Clemson was exactly like they were last year, Miami would be my pick to win the conference. If they were dealing with a lot of issues and had the same question marks that we had at the beginning of the season for Clemson, I would be very quick to pick Miami. But it sucks for Miami right now as they're transitioning a little bit, not completely, that they're in this spot. They're going head to head with an insanely talented Clemson team. Clemson team is one of the best in the country.
Talented Notre Dame team in the beginning of the year.
Well, yeah, they have to face Notre Dame too at the beginning of the year, and that's also super tricky for them because you want to start the season hot. I have said on this show that I think that Notre Dame wins that game. I'm going to be at that game, by the way, which should be pretty fun. That if they don't start hot after that game or from that game, who knows what they could do for your season? They'll probably be fine. But the momentum that they gained from the Florida game last year was a pretty strong example of why you want to hit the ground running.
Joe, are you bought in at all on Florida that Florida can give them a solid game?
I think that they will. And it's tough that you got to travel for that game. It's not super hard to play in the Orange Bowl or in the Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh shit. Our comments are about to go crazy.
It's not a really loud stadium. I've been in it before. It was there for the Orange Bowl. I doubt that it's going to be anything. I'm going to get cooked for saying all this stuff. I just support it. Please don't yell at me. I just supported you guys for the whole beginning of this segment, but I think that they're going to beat Florida. I think that they will beat Florida.
I see comments in the chat right now about Miami. Before you talk about Dabo Swinney, you got to get to the ACC championship game. Don't come up in here talking stuff about Dabo when you can't even get there. It's like the old rap song. You're on the outside of the club, you can't even get in.